Ladies and gentlemen, they blamed Trump. They blamed President Trump for the entire crisis of the past year. They said, we're going to pretty much end our economies. We'll shut all our economic activity down, and this will protect people. And anyone who doesn't abide by our rulings or protocol or directives or our vantage point is not taking it seriously, and also you are risking the lives of people. You are going to lead people to their demise if you do not listen to us. Now we have Newsom being recalled in California. We have Andrew Cuomo done. I mean, I did a segment prior to this one. He's essentially done, okay? If you look at California and New York, go to the New York Times statistics, okay? 1 out of every 5 people who lost their lives. And Democrats don't focus on aggregate numbers. They can't focus on aggregate numbers. They have to slice and dice everything just because the actual data points to all of their policies not working. New York and California had the most heavy-handed and draconian responses. Okay? Then, of course, citizens were more reliant on government. And Democrats could say, hey, we're here for you. That's one of the political considerations. It wasn't just about saving the lives of citizens for Democrats. I don't think so. Okay, if you think that all Democrats had was just this purely altruistic motive for the things they did, fine. A lot of it was Trump, Orange Man must be kicked out. And so 1 out of every 5 lives lost, according to the New York Times, resided within either California or New York. 20% of all the lives lost in the country. They say this is a horrible crisis that swept America. We have 50 states and 320 million Americans. Go to the New York Times statistics right now. The states that, by the way, had governors who put infected people into elderly care facilities did the worst. You couldn't celebrate Christmas, you couldn't go to church, but people still went to Target and Walmart and supermarkets. All they did by shutting down the world was funnel human beings into locations where they then had to wait in long lines. You did not stop human interaction. What you stopped is economic, transactions, economic output. You stopped people from being able to provide for their families. That's all you did. And then you could say, well, the experts believed. The experts were blindsided. The experts never predicted anything. I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to experts. Listen to them when it comes to, a whole bunch of things. Listen to experts. But don't give experts the keys to the entire United States economy. That should never have been an option. People will find, and in places like California and New York and younger people had parties. It's all over the news. In fact, in Los Angeles, the mayor was even saying that he would throughout this whole crisis, the mayor was saying that he's going to shut off electricity to houses that housed parties because it was happening throughout Los Angeles. And it was probably happening. People were always going to find different ways to mingle and to interact. Locking down and completely shutting down society and the economy did not work. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Tell your friends about this channel. I'll have a live stream later this evening. And we have the best live stream, so be here for the live stream later this evening. And when you look at Newsom and Cuomo, Witmer, Murphy in New Jersey, who has the highest... oh, Lord. That's a... okay, that's a Fox News article here. New Jersey Governor Murphy office cautioned patients will lose their lives before ordering patients into elderly care facilities. patients will lose their lives, the administrator reportedly told Murphy's office. They all knew. It wasn't Trump. They tried to blame him. The same thing they do. He said they were fine people. He never said that. The C-SPAN, quote, refutes all the lies. He said, inject Drano. No, he didn't. He was thinking out loud, and it was, of course, they ran away with it. He said he called it a hoax. No, he didn't. He called the media reaction a hoax, which the media reaction propped up Andrew Cuomo to the point where he wrote a book on leadership lessons. But here, you look at Newsom's recall. 2 million signatures. California governor gears up for recall. As critics say they've reached 2 million signatures. Okay? Nobody's happy, like in California, New York, New Jersey, Michigan now, Pennsylvania. You look at places so it's California, New York, New Jersey, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. 5 Democratic-run states put infected people in elderly care facilities, but you couldn't hug your parents. Does that make any sense at all? Does that make any sense at all? They just it's almost as if they were making up rules. It's almost as if they were making up rules. None of the Democratic parties, and none of their grandiose plans to deal with this ever worked out. That's why they had the worst. 7 of the top 10 states, 7 of the top 11 with the greatest amount of lives lost account for 40% of all the lives. 200,000 of the 500,000. 200,000 of the 500,000 lives lost are in 7 Democratic-run states. We have 50 states. Okay. 7 Democratic-run states account for 40%. All right? How is that? How on earth do Democrats pontificate and judge and preach and condemn, which is what they do on every issue, which is why their political party needs to be propped up by Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Trevor Noah, James Corden, Saturday Night Live, all of Hollywood, every director and producer and major studio, all of the record industry, intelligence operatives that blame everything on Russia. So now we're finding out that Russia wanted you to learn about. I mean, it's absurd. Who believes this nonsense? Russia wanted you to hear about Biden's son's emails because, of course, even though it's a legitimate story that shows absolute corruption, where the man left in a drunken stupor a laptop with incriminating emails that if Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr. or Ivanka, they have nothing on the Trump children. Nothing. Zero. They don't have emails that show, oh yeah, thanks for your allowing us to meet your father, and how can you use your influence on behalf of the company? And oh yeah, 10% I give to the big man. There's emails showing that his son gives Biden 10% of all the business deals. How on earth do you think Biden got so wealthy? He came in as the poorest senator. That was his claim to fame. He had no money. And then he got 10 to 12, 9 to 12 million dollars in net worth, financial net worth. So, how did he get that money? They say book deals. Have you read a book from Biden? And they say speaking engagements. Have you heard him speak? Have you heard Biden speak? I don't think he's going to get 10 million from the speaking engagements. Okay, maybe Bill and Hillary, just because of other issues. 500 conflicts of interest with that foundation, according to emails, the campaign emails. But see, all these emails are incriminating. You have all the evidence out there, but of course, it's completely suppressed. The Washington Post, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the New York Times, Daily Beast, BuzzFeed, Rolling Stone, New Yorker, Atlantic, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Mother Jones, The Nation. I mean, do they deviate at all? No. Every single publication I just named parrots and repeats and regurgitates and amplifies Democratic Party talking points. Okay? These people went and what they did was they engaged in the worst outcomes. They did the most horrendous things. They had the most backwards and draconian policies. Okay, shutting down economies didn't work. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. oh, well, Florida's per capita rate is higher than California's. Yeah, and New Jersey and New York's are infinitely higher than Florida's. You want to go and the top 4 per capita rates are all Democratic-run states. So what kind of rebuttal is that? The states are different, okay? Newsom was saved, by the way, because California is so spread out. There's so much land in California. So it's in terms of land mass, obviously the largest state in the California and Texas. But no, I think it is the largest land mass of any state. So he was saved with that. But Democrats should have understood, okay, if cities, if people live within close proximities in major metropolitan areas, maybe they should gear up, or maybe have predicted this. They were all blindsided. And you try to shut down society. People couldn't have a beer, or they couldn't have, healthy people couldn't have a coffee at a coffee shop. But those same healthy people would be waiting an hour in line at any retail chain or a liquor store. So you did yourself no good. Then you had protests where not everybody was doing what they were supposed to do in the protests. You had $1 to $2 billion in property damage. You think they were following all the safety protocols while buildings were being set ablaze? They even, in the Grammys, they were even glorifying the peaceful protests. So it's like Democrats are all over the place. If they didn't have every conceivable and then the social media algorithms, Twitter suspends New York Post's account. You don't get the New York Times. They fabricated quotes from Trump, literally made up quotes. The Washington Post had to correct. They made up 2 quotes just to make Trump look bad. They used the information from a source. Where are the sources with Biden now? Suddenly, all the sources, all the unnamed officials, all the former U.S. officials, they're all gone. The entire apparatus was leveled against Trump. And the entire apparatus, public relations monstrosity, was used to prop up Prince Valium. And, okay. But we have this wonderful world now where even Biden's turning on Cuomo. It's not because of the allegations, because Biden didn't believe the woman who accused him. And this is also another really, really despicable thing. They obsess over the hot mic. The hot mic is going to be that quote is going to be on some people's tombstones to say, you see what Trump said? Their lives revolve around that hot mic. It was a hot mic. It wasn't a deposition. Suddenly he's telling the truth when he's speaking to an Access Hollywood host. But an actual police report that said that Biden actually committed that heinous act, that did that to that woman. Where the police report actually said they voted for, and Kamala Harris said, oh yeah, I believe her, but I'm still going to vote for Biden. It's what? They're all over the place. They have their moral compass is like this spinning clock. It just, wherever it lands, suits them. And they always have the intel community, a wonderful community, always been right. Bay of Pigs, Gulf of Tonkin, WMD, always right. Oh, the smartest people, don't you understand? The intel agencies will always say that Russia wants you to know the dirty laundry of Democrats. And then Democrats will say, you see, it's